Hi kids, welcome to Lighthouse Club again. The story we're going to be reading about today is about Jonah. It tells us, we've sung the songs, haven't we? All about Jonah and the whale as he goes way down into the middle of the ocean. And we're going to be hearing a bit about that later and hearing about how Jonah spent time in isolation. Oh, and not a very nice place. He spent it right in the belly of a whale. It was a special fish that was created for that purpose and that time. But we're going to be hearing a little bit about that later on. The story starts with God. And that's a good place to start, isn't it? In our stories. There's a few characters in the Jonah story. There's the people of Nineveh who were pretty bad and they were kind of nasty people. And then there's God, and then there's Jonah himself. And we'll find out a bit about that there. We're going to find out that Jonah gets things wrong at times. And I'm going to be Jonah for today, for that purpose. That's why I'm wearing this kind of hat thing. Jonah might have worn something like that. I've got a big staff thing, because that's like quite, like prophet-like, and Jonah was a prophet. We're going to be hearing a bit about that just in a while as well. But it starts off with God. God, you see, as Jonah discovers and as Jonah tells us about later on, God was the God of the land, of the sea. And it says in the Bible that he's gracious, he's merciful, he's slow to anger, and he's abounding in love for each one of us. And Jonah tells us that later on in the book of Jonah. God speaks to Jonah. And God told Jonah that he had to go to a place called Nineveh. Now, Nineveh was full of really quite bad people. They didn't want anything to do with God at that time, and they lived their own way and did lots of bad things. And it tells us in other places in the Bible about some of the terrible things that they did, and we're not going to go into that just now. But they were bad people. But Jonah was asked to go and to tell them that God was going to punish them for the wrong things that they had been doing. Do you know what Jonah did? Well, he thought to himself, and we read later on that Jonah realised that God would forgive those people if they said sorry, and Jonah didn't want that. He thought, no, I'm not doing that. I know that God is a forgiving God, and he's going to forgive those people that are bad. And he got his jacket and he thought, right, that's me. No, I'm leaving. I'm going to run from God. And he gets his staff and maybe his bag where he packed his bag. Got this and thought, right, I'm gonna go somewhere far away. In fact, I'm gonna go to a place. I'm going to go down to a place called Joppa. And at Joppa, I know in Joppa there'll be boats. Yep. And I'll be able to catch a boat, and I'm going to go away. Yep. And that's what Jonah did. He turned his back on God and he walked. Jonah would have probably made his way down to Joppa quite quickly, looking for a boat to go to a place called Tarsus, which was far away. Joppa was probably quite a busy wee town, right by the sea. I don't think it was very much like a Committee, but in these times of social isolation, that's the only place I can go just now. But he would have went to Joppa, and off he got on a boat to a place called Tarsus. Okay, well, Jonah was soon on the boat, wasn't he? He was on his way to that place called Tarsus. He thought, great, I've got to Joppa, I've got to Tarsus, and I'm managing to run from God. And off Jonah went. He was a bit tired after his big long run there, and he went to sleep. Off he went to sleep on the boat. But God was there. You see, the God that Jonah was trying to run from is a God who is everywhere. He's a God who can't be run from. We can't run away from God. And he was also a God who loved the people of Nineveh. Even though they'd done wrong things, he wanted them to turn from them. He wanted them to say sorry for the things that they'd done wrong, as he gives us the chance to do as well. He gives us all the chance to say sorry. And God wanted Jonah to go and tell these people to turn from their wicked ways. So, God sent a storm. God sometimes sends things to wake us up, and that's what he did in this case. He sent a storm to Jonah. But Jonah was sleeping. And Jonah was still sleeping, even in the storm. Well, the men that were there, they weren't sleeping. They were worried, and they'd been used to the sea. They were used to travelling across that place where there's maybe storms on occasions, and they were worried. They started to pray to other gods, and nothing was happening. And then they realised Jonah was still sleeping. They woke up, Jonah, wake up! Can you imagine trying to get some people out of their beds in the morning? Are you difficult to get out of your bed in the morning? Maybe your mum or your dad has to wake you, or maybe you go and wake them. Well, they were trying to wake Jonah up, and they got him up and they said, Jonah, get up and pray to your God. Well, it wasn't long before Jonah started to tell them that the reason the storm was there was his fault. He said, what? He said, well, I serve the living God. I serve the God of the earth and of the sea, and he's asked me to do something, and he said the only way that you can appease this storm is if you chuck me overboard. Overboard. Into the waves. Well, the men were worried, and they were like, no. And they rowed all the harder. Rowed. I mean, you could put your back into this. Row! Pretend you're rowing. Row! And they tried to row hard. But to no avail. No. There was no way they were going to manage to row in this one. So, they decided, eventually, to throw Jonah overboard into the sea. But God had sent something else. He sent the storm, didn't he? And now he sent a big fish. And this is where we come to the time of Jonah's isolation, of Jonah in social isolation. A bit like us now. You're maybe saying, well, you're alright, you're down on the beach. Well, I'm still in isolation, I can't go anywhere else. I've got to stay here in the committee, and I'm out my morning walk in my dressing gown. A bit weird. Anyway, Jonah was there in social isolation, away from everyone else, in the belly of. So there was Jonah in the belly of a whale, stuck there because he had disobeyed God and was going about things his own way. He was doing what he thought was best. And he didn't want those people in Nineveh to be forgiven. So he didn't want to tell them they'd done wrong. Well, that's kind of silly, but that's what Jonah did. Thankfully, God loved the people of Nineveh. And that's why the whale swallowed Jonah. Away down in the middle of the ocean. My goodness, I wonder what Jonah felt like in there. I mean, you and I can be stuck in our houses, but Jonah was stuck in the belly of a whale. I'm down here in a cave in a committee. I don't know if you can see the cave, more of the cave behind me there. But, I wouldn't like to be stuck here for too long. Jonah would have been in an even smaller place in the belly of a whale. And that would have been really stinking and stuff. Down here, there's the smelly seaweed and there's those things. But Jonah would have been right in that smelly belly, whale's belly for those 3 days and 3 nights. But God forgave Jonah. And the whale, it tells us that the whale spewed Jonah up on the beach. Ugh, that's a bit horrible. But he was still alive. And there he was on the beach. And he was able to go and to tell the people of Nineveh. It was quite a big city, the people of Nineveh. And as Jonah went across it took him 3 days to cross the whole city, telling people about what God was going to do if they didn't turn from their sins. Well, the people, they did say sorry. The people, they did ask God for forgiveness. It tells us in the Bible that they put on sackcloth and they covered themselves in ashes. And that was a sign that they were, in their tradition, that they were genuinely sorry for the wrong things they'd done. Well, God forgave them. And God can forgive you and I when we say we're sorry too. You see, the Lord Jesus Christ loves each one of us. He loves our parents, He loves our children, He loves us all. Each and every one of us in this world. And when we say we're sorry for our sins and we turn to Him, then He's able to forgive us. Because the Lord Jesus Christ loved you and me, and He came to die for us. We're coming up to Easter in just a short while. And at Easter time, we read about that, don't we? We read about how Jesus loved us and He came and He died for us on the cross at Calvary. But He rose again. The Bible tells us that He was in the tomb, in the grave. It was like a cave for 3 days. That's the same length of time as Jonah was. Yes, it is. It's exactly the same length of time, because that's what Jesus had said to His disciples, that He would be there for 3 days and 3 nights, the same as Jonah was. And He rose again. And because He's alive, He's able to save you and I here today. Thanks for listening again to Lighthouse Club. A wee bit different this week, yep, but we're going to have a craft in a wee while, and there's going to be a challenge as well.